Now, my mom died when I was 14. My father died when I was 6.
Oh, Ibaye. Okay.
And then I had a baby. There's a thing they call the babies that like die 2 months after. It's a word for it. I forget,
Abiku.
a biku, right? So I had a lot of death. My child's father died. I had, me being a child of Oya, a lot of death right around me. So here's the thing: in my dreams, I have seen my mother, and I have felt as if that I'm in a different timeline where she's still existing. It's almost real. Like
No, stop, stop. It's not almost real. It is real. She does exist on another timeline. And Ifa teaches you the tools on how to access that. That's the main function of EME is to access contact and interaction with the ancestral mothers. We do that through the use of astral travel. You've heard the term EME or Sharanga, but nobody knows what the heck that means. That's not a spirit, that's a process. EME or Sharanga from the Elysian Ia, Ami, or Shaw, Ranga, literally means the ability to astral travel to the realm of the mothers to gain, to internalize female ashe.
huh? So
There's no H in Osharanga. It's a line under the S, but that's close enough. And there's a double A in Iami.
Iyami, okay, let me do it right. I want to like give them respect. Iyami, oh so wrong. I can't do the oh so wronga. So here we go.
That's all right.
So Iyami Osoranga.
Osharanga is how it's pronounced.
Mm.
And so
So
the Iami Osharanga is the group of mothers who come together for ritual purposes to travel in the astral realm. They meet in the Iroko tree in their astral bodies on the full moon, which is how they also have synchronized their menstrual cycles. So Iami Sharanga is the element of Ifa spiritual practice that makes positive use of menstrual blood. The notion that menstrual blood is dirty is a Catholic idea. It's not consistent with anything that's taught anywhere in Nigeria by anybody who understands our faith. And that menstrual blood is used as a catalyst for astral travel because it's rich in melatonin and serotonin. And if you rub menstrual blood on the third eye, it'll facilitate astral travel. That's called right brain, left brain integration. It's called starfire ritual. That ritual is done both throughout Africa and throughout Eastern Europe. So it's a common link between those traditions, which I spoke about earlier. And that process of starfire has been denigrated by the Catholic Church through the invention of the ridiculous notions about vampires and drinking blood. That's all made up denigration of ancient Ifa and European rituals. So menstrual blood is also a key element in the Ifa initiation. But instead of understanding that, people have a fit if a woman is present on her cycle. Nonsense. That's a sacred place. It's a sacred function. That blood is used, and it's a key component in making sure an awo is able to go into altered states of consciousness.
wow. And so here's a question too. So let me go into this, right? So I died. I'm gonna say this. All right. I was in a car accident, flipped over. Okay. I can show you the pictures. I don't think you want to see them, but it was horrible. So in all right, in 2013, I flipped my car over and I bled to death. Okay. It's heavy, right? Now I believe in my heart of hearts that in 2013 I passed away, but then I also because I saw like the whole thing like that there was a calm that came over me. I saw my kids, I saw my life flash and whatever, and then all of a sudden I was pulled out of that car. I fell asleep, pulled out the car, and ever since then, like the spiritual plane, the earth, that I'm on is slightly different than the earth that I was on prior to that situation, right?
Yeah, listen, that could be as a result of your after death experience, but it's also likely related to some experiments that were done at CERN, which is a particle accelerator on the border between Switzerland and France, which caused a shift in timeline leading to what people call the Mandela effect. That we could spend another.
But hold on, no, but did that happen in 2013?
I believe
Was there
so.
one in 2013?
I believe that was the date. Actually, it might have been a little earlier, but in
Was
any
it like
case,
in October?
oh, I don't remember. I have to look it up. But my point is, it could be as a result of your astral travel. It also could be as a result of a global shift in timeline. I would not be prepared to make a judgment either way, but other than to say that both are real possibilities.
Because I was trying to understand whether this is just even Ifa. You know, like, okay, you have this thing about timelines. You have a thing about, like, because you know how Ifa talks about like reincarnation. But what if reincarnation is not just a matter of you actually dying completely, but just like you might die on one timeline? And I know this sounds crazy, but then continue on.
No, listen, that's not crazy. That's the point. There is no such thing as death in Ifa metaphysics. The Odu Oyeku means Oyeye Iku, meaning the spirit of the mother of death, which means understanding death. So when Ifa speaks of your life and your destiny, is not speaking of the year 2026 in planet Earth. Is talking about all of your reincarnations in all of your lifetimes, in all the planets that you've lived on, and the continuation of that consciousness through the transition of a particular lifetime. And that, in fact, at Ifa funerals, which is something nobody ever talks about, I'm not even sure people have studied it, but at Ifa funerals, we invite extraterrestrials to come to facilitate the transition into the next dimension and to allow the person to be reborn and give their last will and testimony. So hear what I just said. We were taught in written form, in written books, that only one person in the history of life on Earth was resurrected after their death. I'm telling you that every single Ifa priest who dies in Africa is resurrected after their death, and the resurrection process is part of the funeral process, and that funeral process is facilitated through connection with extraterrestrial beings called Ogbo. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I'm telling you, I've had training in it. I've seen aspects of it, and I believe it to be true. Oh, I can't hear you.
All right. So, is there different levels of reincarnation?
Yeah. Listen, you can.
But hold on. Let me break it down. Right. What I've experienced. Right. I believe what I'm seeing is that there's like one level of reincarnation. If you die a premature death based on you making the wrong decision, you will die on a timeline, but then continue on a different one. Same body, same life, but like the past of that thing is slightly different. You get like kind of like pushed to a different timeline. You continue to live on. In one timeline you passed on, another one you live on, right? And so you're living on. It's slightly different than what was going on in the other timeline. Things are a little bit different, whatever. But if you live out, go all the way through, and no problems, then you have that actual true reincarnation back to childbirth, whatever. Am I wrong or what? Am I right?
Well, I'm saying
nothing that I've actually read. This is just something I understand it.
Yes, what you say is theoretically possible. There's 3 books that cover that topic called the Montauk Project. Ifa, at the level of training I have not heard elders speak about that possibility clearly. I believe it is possible, and I believe as we improve our understanding of Odu Ifa, it will become more clear. But the real key to understanding what you're saying is to understand that creation is co-creation. And it's co-creation by virtue of the fact that that's the way consciousness works. So that we co-create our
Uh-oh. I hope his phone, I hope his computer didn't die.